Here is how to audit your business and, in a way, your life. This is exactly what I do with my business, and this is what we did to scale it to 15 people of a multidisciplinary team and averaging 107.7 new patients every single month this year. And it would not be possible unless I was reflecting every December on what things went well, what didn't go so well, and how to actually channel my focus for the year ahead. Because sometimes we get very confused about our North Star and we say, oh, in 20 years time, I want to be a multimillionaire, serve thousands and thousands of people and live on Bahamas. But you are just struggling this month to pay the bills. So it's very difficult to get a tangible feeling of what does it look like to take the next step and the next step and the next step on my success ladder. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stefan. I run Practice Peak, which is a consultancy firm where we help clinics from all over the world to just build better businesses in order to serve patients better, in order to give you financial freedom, in order to have fun along the way and make some money. So hopefully this presentation guides you through my comprehensive guide. It's like a manual of what I look at end of each year. So without further ado, let me refocus my energy on the things that matter. And for us, the first thing I would look at each December is reviewing your KPIs, your key performance indicators. The first thing I'll probably want to see from a business standpoint in terms of the mechanics of the business, not the money in and money out, is patient acquisition. Am I tracking my metrics? How many new patients did I get overall? What is my patient retention like? How many of these people stayed with us and how long do they stay with us for? And what is the financial performance based on that? If I get these two right, if I get the patient acquisition correctly, and if I get the conversion and the retention properly dialed in, then the financial performance will work its way. This here, financial performance, is just a byproduct of patient acquisition, patient retention, and probably, if you're not doing it already, being able to actually convert people to start care, because we are technically selling health. We're not selling wine, we're not selling bad stuff, we're not selling sweetened chocolates and donuts. We sell people being active and healthy and vibrant, and that is an awesome thing to be able to do. So if I was to actually share with you, and I'm happy to do that, my actual stats, this is a reflection of the only thing you wouldn't see here is probably pediatrics and babies and mums, because we have different spreadsheets, so there's probably 100 to 200 patients that are missing from this. But this is our KPI success tracker. This is available for anyone to download if you wanted to, because it helps you understand what happens in your business. I have people sometimes pay me thousands of pounds a month, private consulting people, and I still have to tell them off. I still say to them, guys, you will not believe the data, the decisions you can make on your business based on the data that this particular tracker will give you. We have everything from chiropractors to massage therapists to rehab to report findings to new patients, where they come from, PVAs, conversion rates, retention rate, all of the stuff is here. But this is my actual data for 2024. And obviously I'm recording this in the second week of December, so we haven't done the stats for that yet. But if you look at year to date, we've had so this column C here is for new patients. We've had 1,048 new patients. We're probably 200 short on this spreadsheet because of other campaigns that we've run that we measure separately. We've had total ROF, so this is report of findings. So this is when people come back for their visit for the results, and we tell them what we found, we analyze it, we explain to them properly. We have an exact manual how to do that within my program. If you nail this one and this one, you'll solve 90% of your business problems. And then the rest is just customer satisfaction, getting results, being awesome at what you do. So 949 divided by 1,049. So we probably have between 94 and 95% rate of people, new patients coming in and being booked for a report findings. There will be people that we've had to obviously refer out as emergencies. It wasn't appropriate for our service. We had to send them to whatever hospital, A&E. People moved country and couldn't come back. So there will be a level. But between, if you are not getting less than 10% of people going from new patient initial consult to report findings, there's something that you're doing wrong. It could be your systems, it could be your teams. I had a client who we reviewed their case and it was like 40%. They could have had 1,000 patients here, but only 600 ROFs. So the problem wasn't, well, let's just aim to get more new patients. It would have made no sense because they would have lost more money and they would have potentially not fixed this leaky bucket syndrome that we talk about. I'm not proud of this, but I want to be fully transparent. We're currently converting at 62% conversion because historically for us it's been 70. But this is the whole year of me not practicing. I'm not in practice, and mine used to be like 90-95%. So that used to bump up the numbers. We've had 2 associates who are fairly new and they're still learning their ways and they're doing amazing, but it will reduce the conversion rate. It's also very important to define what conversion rate is, and for us that is people that are on a monthly payment, membership, subscription type of thing, or PP stands for prepaid. We do not count people that book each time and book as you go as a conversion. Why? Because we know the data, that we know that within a few sessions those kind of people drop out. Why? Because we couldn't really explain to them properly what the problem was. They couldn't understand it. Usually the practitioner wasn't confident enough in knowing that we can help that person. These are still people that come and we still help them, of course, but we don't count it as conversion because we just don't see the point. We also have re-examination, which is end of each plan, whatever the plan is, after 6 visits, 7, 12, 2, it doesn't matter. We just have a way of measuring consistently what happens, and we can see that 82% of our patients that complete a plan go into what we call a well-being program or maintenance program to keep them well, keep them in check. This is usually for us 90%, but again, we've had new associates, we've had restructure of the team, we had myself stopping, so this number will be affected, but I promise you this is probably 20% better than industry standard. But on average, we do 90 here and we do 70 here. So this is by the way, just one graph. We have lots of data. So if you're not using my KPI tracker, you do not know where to invest in training, in development, in equipment, in whatever it is, because this pool of data is absolute gold for you to know what is working and what is not working. Because a lot of the times you might be stressing out about new patients and you might think you need more new patients, but that might not even be the case. You don't know what you don't know. Therefore, you need to measure your numbers. It doesn't matter if you're a single doc practice or if you have 20 associates working for you. It's the same principle. Whatever is true on a micro scale, on the small, just you and your wife practicing, will be true on the macro when you expand to 3 or 4 or 5 clinics. You just create more headaches. If you do things well in the micro, in the small scale, it will work on the big scale too. So these are our KPIs. Analyze your revenue. This is the oxygen of the business. A business in its exchange of value. The money is irrelevant. It's just the byproduct of how good you are. You guys have to get this absolutely like brainwashed the opposite way in your mind. When I was younger, I used to think money is bad, money is evil, money grows on trees, mom and dad didn't have much money. All of these self-limiting beliefs stopped me from being a good practitioner. They stopped me from being the best version of a leader that I could be, and I knew I could be, until I started to do some self-development work and I started to understand that money is just a tool. It's just a vehicle. It's just an exchange of value. People see value in what you do. If you can help them, they'll pay you, and then your business as well. So don't attach money to your like emotion and whether it's good or bad. It's what you make it. It's what you make it. So in terms of understanding your business, if you look at your P&L accounts, first of all, do you do your P&L accounts? Do you have accountants? Do you look at what's your profit margin? How much money went in the business? How much money went out? If you look at that as a whole year, if you can operate between 15 and 30% profit margin as an associate-based model, you're doing really well. Anything above 30, you're doing incredibly well. If you're an associate, if you're a single doc practice, you should be 60, 70% profit margins. There is no reason why you shouldn't be. And this is the question I have for you: is what actually moves the needle in your business? What are these? Well, I call them IGAs, income generating activities. What are those things? Are they? What types of cups do you order for your reception when you welcome clients? Do you order plastic or paper cuts? Is that really needed if you're like struggling to make 10 to 30k a month from this incredible business that you can potentially have? Probably not going to move the needles what type of cups you use. Is it important long term? Of course it's important. But you need to audit your income generating activities, and then you need to audit how much time and energy do I invest towards these income generating activities. What I did this exact presentation to my private group of clients in our mastermind last night, and I said to them, guys, what are these activities? And someone said sales. I said, brilliant, that's good. I'm very proud of you to say sales, because that is what we do. When a patient comes in, you have to tell them what's wrong and you have to sell them the idea that you can help them. You do the same with your kids to go to school, to eat healthy. You do the same with your partner to convince them that I'm a good partner and I would like to sell myself to you. So sale has this stigma, but that's what we do. We sell health. We sell health. And once we normalize that, we're going to be so much better. We're going to be so much more transparent about what we do and how we help people. But just kind of spend some time thinking about how much time do I spend towards investing in my ability to communicate with patients, investing in technique, investing in my clinical knowledge, my personal growth, new patients, traffic, website development, offers. That's stuff that what moves the needle, what actually gets people to come in, to see how awesome you are, and to start treatment. So hope you guys are finding this helpful, because this stuff, just no one teaches you this, right? And that's why I'm really, really excited when I bring this to my mastermind. and in our school community, we debate about these things, and we're surrounded by like-minded individuals. We grow 10 times quicker than someone who is stuck in a small office. They're not sure what to do. They don't know what success looks like. And they have this very often, wow, look at this. They have very often this perception that I know best. We have a big ego attached to us. And I was the same, by the way. I'm not judging anyone. It's just, it is what it is. So if you learn how to put the ego to the side, and how do I ask for help? How do I stay curious to know what is out there? How do I create a better business, better clinic, better service? How do I serve more people? Then you will never think about this money in, money out problem, because this is just going to be a byproduct of how awesome you're doing service to the community. Identifying areas of operational efficiency or sometimes inefficiency. So thinking about when I look at back in 2024, what was my patient onboarding process like? I've spent 6 weeks training my not just my team here. I've spent 6 years training my team here. My private clients and our community is about the patient journey. We have something called the Perfect Patient Playbook. It's a series of milestones of what happens from someone even before they come to your clinic, so day 0, to months and months and months in advance when they are a raving fan and absolutely love what you've done. You've changed their life and they refer patients to you. This would take me probably 6 months to properly implement in someone's practice. But when we do, it changes the game. This is all about product. This is why things like this, for those of you who are not watching YouTube and you're listening, I'm holding an Apple iPhone. When you create an amazing product, you don't necessarily have to spend millions and millions and millions on marketing. They probably do, but the point is, an iPhone is very intuitive. You know exactly what you're getting. It's linked to your life. It helps. It's convenient. It stores your apps. It just has so much value. So how do you turn your patient journey into an incredible product? And this is part of the things that I teach people, because we're quite lucky to have the formula and now scale to 5 clinics, so we know it works. Clinical flow. So how are you streamlining your processes, your procedures, basically from patients looking at your website to turning into these incredible fans, from the email sequence, the SMS reminders, to the funnels that we have, to the dropout funnels that people enter, to the welcome funnels that we have, to the welcome booklets we give people, all of that clinical workflow. How do people work between the team flow, between the chiropractors, physios, massage therapists, CAs, management, the director, myself? How do we get involved in that clinical flow to make sure everything works really well and very smoothly? So these are the kind of questions that I ask myself. And by the way, if this is overwhelming you, good. It should be overwhelming you, because if you're overwhelmed, it means you're not doing half of this stuff. And if you want to get to 50K a month, it's kind of, again, it makes me sound like a complete another douche, but 50K a month is easy if you just do the basics really well. I found it quite challenging getting to that 75 to 100K mark a month, because that requires the small things to be done well, but on scale. So that requires leadership, organizational charts, putting people in the right seats, having the right seats in the first place to know how to hire. Again, this is the stuff that drives me to teach people, because we've done it 5 times, we know it works, now we do it with clients. So I'm excited to build this awesome product. But these videos here, if you apply 60-70% of this stuff, you'll get to 30K a month in no time, and you'll be helping lots of patients, and you'll be doing it the right way. Evaluating your marketing strategy, that of course that's important. So again, I have a whole course of this, a whole program on every single way you can acquire a new client. It doesn't matter if you're a physiotherapist, if you're a chiropractor, if you're an osteopath, it's kind of the same stuff. So what does your digital channels look like? What does the local and organic look like? Community engagement. This is, I always say, pro tip down here, go crazy on low cost, high profit activities within your marketing. So you don't have to have a budget if things work. This is the biggest misconception in marketing. People say, what's your budget for this? I'm like, I don't have a budget. Currently we have this, it's actually not local SEO, it's actually a PPC campaign. We've been running for 3 months, and it's literally impossible to replicate it because it's been so successful. And in my 7 years worth of like doing the business, I've never seen anything like it. And we're just milking it. But do I have a budget? No, because I know it works. So we just keep running it. If I had a budget of 2,000 and it wasn't working, and I kept saying, well, I'm just going to spend the 2,000 for the sake of spending it, that is not good business. That is not good business. So my pro tip for most of you guys here is, don't worry so much about all of these channels being perfectly like placed in your company. Is go for the low hanging fruit. External, internal, posture assessments, outreach events, health workshops. I literally have 12 successful, tested, proven campaigns on one of our programs that we run within my community. And if you just apply 10 of those 12, you will be seeing 200, 300, 400 more new patients a year. Easy. And finally, look at the helicopter view. So ultimately, you need to know where that 80-20 rule comes in when it comes to new patient acquisition for your clinic. We have we're quite lucky because we have a very good baseline between referrals, organic traffic, and paid marketing. It's about 30, 30, 30. So that works really well for us, or 33, 33, 33, should I say. Next, this is big, and this might not apply to all, but I just hope someone with a multidisciplinary team is watching this, because this is golden. I didn't come up with this stuff. This is hundreds of thousands of pounds invested in masterminds myself, in leadership courses, in NLP, in personal development, in business development, in currently I'm part of a huge mastermind that is super expensive, that is outside the chiropractic space, but I'm bringing it back to you guys. And this particular thing was done from Ali Abdul and Stephen Bartlett. So I give them credit because it's a combination of the two. And they found, and these guys have, you know, dozens and dozens of really well-established teams. Stephen Bartlett, hundreds of people in his teams. But they're the 5 principles of what we call meaningful work. This is more for people that are looking to build a team or already have a team but are looking to improve the team culture. The first thing is to actually have goals that are subjectively meaningful. What I mean by that is the team member that you're working with, let's say it's a chiropractic assistant or a receptionist or a massage therapist, do you know their goals and are they subjectively meaningful to them? Because I hate to break it down to you guys, but no one cares about your business as much as you do. So you need to care about what they care about as an owner, as a founder, as a boss. People need to have autonomy and control, or at least sense of control. So people need to feel that they have control of the work they do. We're very, very good with our associates that we don't really breathe over their shoulders and tell them, no, you need to adjust the angle this way, and this is the only technique that works, and you must be this kind of chiropractor. We have structure in how the company works, but we're actually really good at giving people autonomy, and I believe that's a really good thing because they can self-develop and they have the autonomy to grow in whatever direction they want, whether it's pediatrics, whether it's sports, whether it's taping and ultrasound, whether it's whatever, injections and shockwave. There is such a wide scope, and I think the profession is so cool and so diverse, therefore people should have the option to develop in the way they want to. This is not something that I've taken from Stephen Bartlett or Ali Abdul. It's actually just pure psychology, that they find people that are happy with their jobs, they always have a sense of forward motion. They have this sense that things are progressing. I'm getting better, I'm seeing more patients, I'm having better results with my patients. There's just sense that something is moving forward. A lot of you will relate to this one. Challenge versus comfort, almost getting to the top of the pyramid now, is I think it's really nice that people are really nice bosses and they're lovely people. But in terms of psychology, any type of work, in order for it to be meaningful, needs to be challenging. Not way out of your comfort zone, but you need to have, that's what people say, keep them 1 foot out of their depth. And what that means is, if you imagine you're playing a game, and games are very cleverly designed because they keep you hooked, they keep you engaged, and you get better at them because every level has harder things that you have to accomplish. So always have this sense of progress, but also make sure your team doesn't get too comfortable. And ultimately, you've got to work with people, a set of people, a community that you like. We've all been there when you've made the wrong hire or whatever, interpersonal relationships, things change, and essentially some people just don't feel comfortable being in their own house. The house being their own practice, their own business. And that's not a nice place to be because we all work very hard to work towards a common goal. And this is really, really, really important. So my next step is, obviously as a leader, you have to be truly transparent to yourself. So what is your personal leadership audit like? I tend to, when I reflect, I try to put my ego to the side and be very honest with myself. And I say, did I take the time to assess my leadership style? Does my team feel empowered? Do they act like they're motivated? Do they have growth mindset or not? And that is usually a reflection of me as a leader. So I often say, well, what are the courses that I attended this year? What is the personal investment? How much money do they spend on my personal growth? How many books do they read? How many podcasts do they listen to? Me and my team were joking the other day on Spotify. You can review your year. It's like a rewind, and you can see a number of hours of, and mine, there was 33,000 something hours, I believe, spent listening to Spotify. Probably 10% of that was music. The rest was podcasts and interviews and personal development stuff that I listen to, health stuff that I listen to. So reflect, evaluate your impact. So it's good to work hard. I believe we all work hard, but what impact does that actually have on your team? Think about your actions and decisions and how does that influence the performance of your team and the well-being of your guys as well. And be truly transparent with yourself when you say, how can I be 1% better? What could I have done differently in order for my leadership to be even more effective? And if you want to reverse engineer it, well, I borrowed this from Tim Ferriss. He says, what would success look like in 12 months' time? So paint that picture. What does success look like in 12 months' time? And then just reverse engineer it to get to that step. And there are tools that I can share with you to do exactly that. I call it my success tracker tool. Finally, this is for yourself personally, for personal and business, is set meaningful goals for the year ahead. So you've reflected back. It's December now. Spend 1 hour today. Put the phone down. Comment and tell me in the video how you're getting on. If you like it, please subscribe. I would love to have this just completely change the landscape of how clinic owners see business, because you can have a huge impact on the world. I don't say that lightly. You can have an incredible impact on the world, especially when systems like the National Health Service are somewhat failing to deliver the supply and demand issue. So people like us, chiropractors, osteopaths, physios, all of these alternative medicine type of practitioners will have a huge responsibility to keep everyone healthy. But what does your health look like? What are the goals for your health? Family and personal, clinic and business, and fun in future. These are kind of like 4 categories that I quite like to play around with. And before I kind of show you my action plan, you've got this. It is overwhelming. If you need help, reach out. There will be a mastermind for you. There will be a coaching group for you that you feel like you're part of the family. And then you stick with these people and you support each other. Because I always think like the collective mind works much better at solving problems. And that's all business is just solving one problem after the next and getting comfortable with doing that. And if you want, guys, I can 100% share with you what my habit tracker looks like and how I plan my whole year. This, I'm not going to charge you all. I'm going to send you my exact template if you wanted to. But look, it's just broken down into yearly habits, quarterly, monthly, and then even every single, like today's December, every single day I would tick things off as I go along. But it's all linked to what am I looking, by the way, obviously this is very personal to me, but what are my yearly habits looking like? I've obviously hidden my business goals, my health goals. I wanted to get to 78kg with 12% body fat this year. What does that look like? Well, I set myself a monthly challenge, so every single month, and again, you have the monthly here. I would say I want to do whatever, 1,000 calories burned in every 48 hours. How do I measure that? I might have my watch. I might look at my calorie tracker. What does that look like on my weekly habit? Well, I want to do 3 weekly workouts and thrive. This is a company that provides food for me, so they cook these healthy meals under a certain calorific intake. And then what does the daily habit look like for this health goal for the year is, well, I need to see my tracker. And then the tracker is the thing I just showed you on this sheet. So everything is designed in a way that is built up to such small micro scale that for me is impossible to fail. Guys, that's it. I haven't got anything else for you. This year has been incredible. I hope you're winning. I hope you're succeeding. I hope you're helping lots of patients. If you want help, there should be in the description, there should be a link that we can talk. And if I think we can work together, I'll let you know. If I think we're not the right fit, trust me, I would still let you know. Thank you. Until next time.